David Scheinbaum approached me and started discussing an idea that he had that revolved around his passion for hip-hop.
Hip-hop is what I'm personally involved in this moment in my life. I've been photographing underground hip-hop artists for the last 12 years. I originally proposed having some hip-hop concerts here on campus.
Given that we're a university, it's got to be more than just entertainment.
And, right away we started talking about, well, if we were to do a concert, what else could be around that?
And that's where the Artists for Positive Social Change really formulated.
I started thinking, who are the people in all those areas that we'd like to bring to represent this level of excellence, high ethics, sticking to your message, navigating the commercial world, not selling out, being successful, and who can share their story with our students. In hip-hop, it all translated to Public Enemy.
And he proposed that he may be able to get Public Enemy to come on campus.
I had a couple of meetings with David, and he talked about the concept, and I really dug it.
And I said to him, what would it take? Is it possible to ever have Public Enemy come? And he right away said,
if it was just a concert, then I don't think it would have given the results that he hoped for.
And that led to, we can have time put aside where the artists can have a conversation with the students.
Once he mentioned it, I knew that it was a good idea.
So I knew going into it that I wanted the end to be with Public Enemy, and that was always my intent, to have them be the capstone of the year. So throughout the year, we've had artists from San Francisco named Bukue One, who's a graffiti artist. He's also a performer. He organized the students into a graffiti workshop, and there's the mural on campus that he did with about 20 students. We had DJs come in who did demonstrations for the students. The students got to learn about mixing music and sampling. We had a teacher in the performing arts department teach a breakdancing class, kind of a contemporary dance. The students from graphic design, they did all of the posters and the t-shirts and all of the promotion material for all of the things that we did all year. We were able to include these 2 large LED screens as part of the stage setup for the band. So the graphics that we had going on during the performances, that was all done by our students.
The most exciting part of the whole process for me was when the idea struck me to audition some of the students here to put together a group to open for Public Enemy.
We all just showed up at an audition. That was it.
Half of the process was getting the lineup going, and that was fun.
I was being told that I was going to open for Public Enemy.
Getting them on board with the seriousness of stepping on stage in front of one of the most important groups in American music history was educational for me.
Working with Brian Hargrove was a different experience. It felt more like a professional environment.
Getting to know how they think, how they relate to each other.
He would push us, and if we weren't doing something right, he was like, what are you doing? Like, if this is the real world, you're gonna get fired, Like 3 or 4 months, we became like a unit, and it was really cool to see that happen.
And that was far more exciting for me than anything else that happened.
I actually ended up going to the summit, the hip-hop summit they had that morning with Chuck D and Brian Hargrove, and really that was so educational in so many ways. Like, meeting Chuck D was amazing. Like, this brilliant, brilliant man that just has so much wisdom and knowledge about life, about the industry, about art in general, and just like what you should do.
I think was just an unbelievable opportunity for our students in the community to be exposed to the inside story. And it wasn't marketed to us, it wasn't filtered through a TV broadcast. It was right there, 25 feet from all of us. And it was really, I think, honest and forthright.
We got to the stage to set everything up. Like, you had sound guys like, oh, what do you need? And can I get this for you? And can we do a check? And it's just like, you have this humongous setup that's just like all professional people. And it was really like this amazing experience. I'm like, wow, this is like what a real job would feel like, or a real show.
Awesome. I didn't want to forget it. Thank you. All right. Sorry, Brian.
All right. So please welcome to the stage, ICC, Intercity Connections.
And then we get on stage and this like crowd is huge. And we're just like, whoa, no way. We play the first song and then you just start seeing people start to nod their head, you know, start bouncing around. And then by the middle of the song, we had them like singing with us. People were into it. You know, I had kids coming up like, oh, you were so awesome. We really gave them a show.
They did an incredible job. Chuck D was so blown away by ICC that he had come to me before Public Enemy went on and said, Brian, these kids are incredible. What are you doing with them? You know, are you managing them? Blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, no. You know, we just put it together just for the show. He said, B, you have to do something with them.
And to hear him, you know, tell the band, you guys are really doing something here. Like, you know, you got to keep on doing it. It was really inspirational and great positive feedback.
And then obviously the concert became a much larger event than what he had anticipated early on and what any of us had.
The legends only of hip-hop, Public Enemy!
Some foreign power, some group of terrorists.
Yes, how low can you go? Show me we can do this. Here we go again. Your bad self. Help us break this down from off the shelf. Here's some music serving you some music. Oh, I got a brand new. Come on, get that. Hey, let's get it on. Like I said before, see the brothers calling trouble, hate the bust a bubble, but we rumble, go out lower level. To condition your condition, we're gonna do a song that you never heard before. Let us all jump along to the education. Brothers gonna work it out and stop chasing.
It wasn't just a Public Enemy concert. This was a different show. They were here for the students. They were here for the campus.
What it takes, come on, get it. Where you want it, see what? Get it, get it done. Put the brothers in the street are willing to work it out.
I like to believe it also had some special meaning to the band, and personally I believe it does, because it was in the show, it was in the performance.
How to get it on. It's quite simple, 3 stones from the sun.
They performed their hearts out, especially considering the rain and the weather.
To the brothers in the streets, school, and the prisons. History should be a mystery. I'll start real history, not history. We're gonna work it out one day till we all get paid the right way and full. We are ready if you are ready. We are ready if you are ready. We are ready if you are ready. Santa Fe, New Mexico.
They didn't want to stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we are Public Enemy.
It was crazy and fun, and I loved every second of it.
The way I saw it in my mind's eye, that this could be just the most joyous, incredibly positive thing, that's what I had in my head, and actually that's, I think, what we ended up with.
That was the punctuation mark on just a great year that saw us turning a vision on a sheet of paper into something that came alive on school.
Santa Fe University of Art and Design impressed me in its progressive thinking. I think Artists for Positive Social Change was an amazing year-long program. I was very moved by the school's embracing of David's ideas.
And I hope and believe that it gives our students kind of a leg up by attending this university, because by the time they graduate, they'll have much more of a sense of the world they're going to enter. They'll already have met some people and dialogued with some people.
You know, I really feel that it's encouraging students as young artists to follow you know, their art form, whatever it is, and to do good things with it, not just make art, but to really kind of speak to the people. And if you have something to say, then to really say it.
Personally, I think that's pretty cool.